Megan, you've been on board with me 2 months now, and I have some concerns about your writing style and direction.
Jim, why on God's green earth would you draw roadmap corrections all over our latest script? Our associates, staff writers and cast think the latest story developments are exciting. John Reed runs for mayor of Riverside.
That blows.
Lizzie is pregnant again.
With John Reed's baby? She will eventually go back to Ben Shelley, so that would be a waste.
Roger and Delia are having a raucously fun second marriage.
It sucks. A lazy rehash. Nobody wanted to see that happen again, and that's why Claire Labine no longer writes for the show she created.
And Sherry and Seneca are bringing back the vintage days of the show.
That's so 1975. Seneca never got over Nell, and is using Sherry to relive her, because they look so much alike.
Just listen to me. As the new head writer, I am entitled to my opinion. If anything, we are continuing the smart, character-driven stories of political intrigue and the hopes, joys and fears of young love. These are all qualities that Joe Hardy, Felicia Bear and the Labines made a staple at Ryan's in the last several years. We have consistently ranked number 5 in the Nielsen's for the past 3 seasons. I for one plan to hold on to our best ratings ever.
I want us to do even better than number 5 though, Megan, and quite frankly, as we enter the 90s, I feel that these cute sunny stories of young love in the afternoon are getting old. Before coming on to take over the new hour-long Ryan's Hope, I watched 72 hours of episodes between October 1988 and January 1989, and aside from every guy on set looking like Dave Mustaine and Sebastian Bach, I swore I was watching General Hospital circa mid-70s. You know, when it looked like a poorly acted high school play.
That's not fair to say at all. The mid-70s were a very underrated time for General Hospital. The Webbers were just coming on for the first time, and played very well with the Baldwins.
I mean seriously, when Evan Cooper learned he had ball cancer last fall, the musical cues used were happy little Sesame Street ditties. You bet your sexy ass that Sybil Winecunt, Earl Rose and Narwhal Productions were fired within seconds of my entrance. Patrice Rushen's new scores definitely caused our ratings to spike from 10.6 to 10.9.
I love those old musical cues. Ryan's Hope has always been a cute, simple little show, and they suited it. What next though, Martin Scorsese or John Hughes directing episodes? We do a whole week live or on film? Convert Ryan's Bar into a burlesque hall and casino? We'll run out of room at ABC Studios in New York City. We will have to move over to Reeves Teletape Studios, which always has vacancy. Sesame Street is shot there by the way, so maybe Hooper's Store or Big Bird's Nest will make their way into some future scenes on our show.
Whatever it takes to make Ryan's Hope the grand aim of the ABC daytime lineup. I no longer want General Hospital to be the network's top-rated soap. In fact, I actually want to force Loving off the air, since I'm still mad that we got bumped for 3 months in 1984 from our old 12:30 time slot.
Jim, you really need to get over it. It was 5 years ago, and due to our loyal fan base, ABC relocated us at 11 o'clock and ratings rebounded. I know you were just a staff writer at the time, and that you've always been jealous of Agnes's clout with the network, but really, Loving is still our neighbor, and we have to pull for one another.
Agnes Nixon is a stone-cold-hearted bitch. She sleeps with every executive from Rune Arledge to Michael Eisner, just to get what she wants. No way was she gonna have her little baby soap Loving isolated in the morning from the rest of her offspring.
I can see that, and know all too well how power producers can monopolize in the media, but we have to learn to forgive and forget. ABC could have placed us at 11 or 11:30 at first instead of 12, but apparently some executives were on an ecstasy binge at the time. Such is life.
Big deal. I was shooting up coke and heroin regularly when I wrote for Ryan's Hope. Some of my best story points came during my strung-out nights. Remember the explosion at Ryan's Bar? Or when Ryan Finelli morphed from being 7 to 17 years old in her sleep one night. I was walking on clouds, eating them, and getting cotton mouth when I conjured up all of that. I wanted to accent the story by having Jack meet up with a mad scientist who developed a machine that would turn Ryan into her dead mother Mary. However, the experiment went horribly wrong. Pat Falcon Smith, Peter Brash, Marty Kravitz and Dottie Purser vetoed it out.
Well, I think they all had some sense. You don't just go from 7 to 17 in a blink of an eye. You guys couldn't have been that hard up for stories in '84. I was watching then, I should know.
I felt that the girl playing Ryan then couldn't act. I don't know how that Jenny Dwyer stayed on for 4 years. I found Yasmin Bleeth prostituting herself one night outside of CBGB's in an attempt to run away from her father and make cash. I came onto her, threw $300 in her face, and took her home. When plowing her young, tender love tunnel, she screamed louder than a banshee. When I pulled out, I said to her, "Hot, baby, do you have a set of lungs? Can you do that again on cue?" She did, and I brought her in to see Suzanne the next day. The rest is history.
I don't think I needed to hear that story, Jim. It sounds like a true Hollywood story that should have remained locked into your nightstand.
I'm telling you though, hookers are the way to scope out new talent. Now that I'm the head honcho around here, I will have even more power to run a talent agency out of my bedroom. I will give ABC dividends monetarily, while I'll get personal ones on the side.
How was I ever so mindless to think that working with you is going to be the best thing to happen to me?